Well, here we are again, folks. It's Leah Hunt, facilitator and part of the all-women lead team. And I am here today with another one of our amazing and remarkable humans who will be on our panel on June the 20th. When we talk about the theme do. So here with me today is Jen Govier, who is the creator and founder of a startup based out of London, Ontario, a couple of years into this business. And the business is called Hux. And I'm going to throw it to Jen and let her tell us a little bit about what Hux stands for, what it's all about, and what you're looking to bring to the all women lead community when we get together on the 20th. Welcome.
Thank you, Leah. Very nice to be here. So as you said, I'm Jen Govier, creator and founder of Hux. So we're about a year and a bit out of the gates, and we're an, I would say, underwear company. And the way that this came about was I was actually looking for a product on the market. I was actually at the gym doing some kettlebell swings. Some people know this story. And when I got a glimpse of my unsightly, dare I say, camel toe, it's true, but it's a true story. And when I went looking for a product, I couldn't find it. And so I just thought, I was ordering product. I was hearing from people that this, was sometimes a challenge. And so when I couldn't find it, I thought, I've had enough experience and enough, different roles, from my day job. I thought, like, I can figure this stuff out. And so I literally just started doing some research. And so it's, 22 prototypes later. And then we're still refining and making it perfectly listen to our customers. And so we've got this ultimate women's performance underwear that doesn't exist exactly as this on the market.
So Jen, you and I have known each other for a while. We met as colleagues in our day jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough that we've sort of developed a kind of connection and a friendship. And I remember having lunch with you at the Root Cellar here in London. And this was probably 5-6 years ago now. And I remember you saying to me in quite a quiet voice that you had purchased this patent. And I remember thinking, what the hell? And being fascinated by it. And so I think back to that conversation and where you are now, and that's a huge space.
Oh, yeah.
And so like unbelievable work and connection and all that sort of thing. The theme for the event on the 20th is do. And it is, out of all of the L.E.A.D themes, it is the scariest to me. It is the one that intimidates me the most, this idea of action. And so what was it for you, from your experience, from this lunch where you sort of said, I got this patent because I think this is a thing that the world needs and I'm going to do it? Which is how it started. And now, here we are 5-6 years later. So how did that feel in your body? Like you must have been terrified.
Oh, I was absolutely terrified. Right. And so, and it's like, and where do you start? So, by our day jobs, we work in finance. That's been the entirety of my career. And then I have this idea, and like, where do you start? I had no connections in this industry. But it's interesting, right? Like, the things that I've learned, throughout my career is like, you don't have to have all the answers to start. And so I was like, I have figured out crazier stuff. There's like, I had a role, with the bank where we're dealing with people across the continent and and just trying to figure that out. And so I just thought, for me, it's like, I don't want to be bogged down with how, if every day that I just do something, even if it's just research, that will move me closer to my vision of getting this product. But it is scary. And like, I didn't even know what a patent was. I was like, what's the difference between a patent and a trademark? And maybe that's stupid, but I didn't know. Right.
I don't know what it is.
I had no idea. I was like, what is this? And then even talking to the legal team, like they were talking, I was like, industrial design patent versus, like, I just didn't even understand the language.
Yeah.
But I just, like, every day I would just like, that's the biggest thing is people get people freeze because they don't have the answers.
Mhm.
And so I just think if you can just do one little thing, and that's how I kind of kept it alive. And this has taken way longer than I wanted. And I still think we have tons of work to do.
Okay.
But like, I mean, this is going to happen in a big way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, you know, what I heard you just describe as something that is subtle, but like crazy powerful. And it's really this idea that every action is an act towards something, right?
Right.
So that the 20 minutes that you spend um, Googling a product name is a step towards making something that will eventually sort of have an outcome. And I think this is, you know, speaking personally, this is where I get caught up. I can see the thing I want to do, but I'm so caught up in the 89 steps it's going to take to get there
Right.
that I freak myself out from taking the first step. So what advice would you have for people who are maybe at that lunch with me,
Yeah.
the Jen Govier of 6 years ago, who is on the precipice of taking that first step?
Yeah. So I think a lot, like I would say every day I spend at least 2 hours in learning something. And
Okay.
so I'll tell you, so I've always had this idea, and this is like the craziest thing, but one of the people I admire the most I've never met, which is Sarah Blakely, and she invented Spanx. And so
Okay.
every day I'm listening to a podcast, I'm reading, like every single day, I'm just growing, getting myself in that mindset.
Okay.
And I was listening to a podcast. It was one of my favorite podcasts. It's called How We Built This with Guy
Okay.
Raz, and he
Okay.
interviews or a lot of folks who've done startups that have
Okay.
now, like he interviewed, one of his first was Sarah Blakely. And
Okay.
so I got, like, it's crazy, but I got courage listening to her podcast. She had failed the bar and she didn't know any, and I was like, it just gave me, so I would say to people, if, I would say, get your inspiration from somebody that has done it. Right. And so, and I would say the consistency between all of the people that I followed is no one had the answers. It's just every day doing one little thing. So if you have a thought, like, it's as simple as like Google, does it exist? Because everybody has a genius idea that we never follow through on. Like, it's true.
Yeah. The idea that it's in all of us,
Oh,
right?
for sure it is.
We're all capable of it. And this is something beautiful that it's not my idea, but this idea that being capable of something and being ready for it are two different things. And
Right.
so if we can just nurture that idea, this idea that I'm capable of something, even if I'm not quite ready for it, but
Totally.
nurture that capability so that when I am ready, right, we can
Yeah.
do. I love that you're focused too on, the inventor of Spanx, yes, made this thing and this outcome, but your inspiration came from learning her
Totally.
life up to that point. It wasn't just the admiration of the outcome and the product. It was an appreciation and a genuine interest and curiosity about how that individual chose to go through that. And that doesn't mean that we're replicating it. It
Totally.
just
Exactly.
means like we're getting inspiration from it and connecting the dots. Um, Talk to me about how you built your community, because I know you didn't do this alone. And I
Oh
know that
gosh.
a big part of this success has been in creating community. So tell me
Oh
about your
my gosh.
community, how you built
Yes.
it.
I'm so glad you asked, because that has been, I would say, the biggest driving force around how we've been able to raise the brand. And so I would say, like, for me, I have always get my energy from helping people. It's just like, if I'm having a bad day, I'll walk out and see my team. So I've really, like, that's important to me. And so I have this group of folks. There's 5 of us or 6 of us in total that I've either worked with or for, and so they believed in the vision. and quite frankly, they've been, pretty, it's pretty humbling to say that they believed in me, and feel like they know this is so much more than underwear, Leah. I mean, they're amazing performance underwear, but this is about building a community that is inspiring confidence, like women in particular, right? And so many of us struggle with that. So sure, we want to build this amazing company, but we also want to raise people up around us and inspire confidence. And so we've just supported people, like we've done a number of collaborations. So we're like, share the spotlight. Like there's other amazing women doing really great things. And like, how do we share the stage? When we work together, we win. And so I've had women who've tried the product and enjoy the product, but they said, what I love most is this community that you've built.
Yeah.
You can feel it. Like I've met people across the country, in the States. And so like a good portion of our sales are coming from the States, and it's through, social media and all that. And I have to get better at it. Like I don't love the spotlight. I love helping people. And so for me, I'm still working through, like, I'm connecting people with one-on-one. I will almost never say no if people need help. Sometimes at my own expense, but I will do just about anything I can in my power to help people. And that really has afforded me the opportunity to meet really interesting people, and that people that are willing to reciprocate.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you a tough question.
Sure.
Kind of out of left field, and this one could get edited out.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you manage your own, like, tell me about how you have had to increase or change the way you talk to yourself.
Oh, geez.
The voice in your head. We all live with, I call her the kind of my mean girl, my little mean girl who lives on my shoulder and tells me that nobody gives a shit about this, Leah, and stop making it all about you. And like all of those horrible things that we say to ourselves. How have you figured out how to love yourself and care for yourself as much as you want to be of service and care and help and support other people? How do you do that for Jen?
Yeah. So it's honestly, Leah, I deal with it every day, and I won't let it I won't let it cripple. There's always this thing in my head, like, you're not smart enough. You didn't go to the best schools. Like, I don't know if I've talked to you about it, but like, every mark that I've ever gotten, I've had to work so hard. It doesn't come easy for me, right? It just doesn't. And so I'm one of 10 kids. I was in the special learning class. Like there's always this insecurity, but every day I've shared with you, like I spend 2 hours a day. I get up before anyone else in the house gets up. So I am meditating, I'm reading, I'm doing the work to manage those thoughts. And what I look for and what reinforce is like evidence that I'm capable. So like, I look, okay, Jen, is that true? Because you've been able to demonstrate and you've been able to, so I just look for those little pieces to sort of reinforce, like, I can do this. I am smart enough. And yeah, but I think I will care, because I have this mindset of growth. So I'm always looking to get better. And so I just think this will, like, I'll probably take it to my grave. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of like, how much do I love myself, where I feel like I'd say I'm probably a 6.5. Okay. I would love to get to a 9. Yeah. But if I don't, I'm going to keep doing the work to get there. And I don't know. And like some days, like I look at social media, and some days I feel good about it. And then there's other days where I'm like, I can't even deal with like just all this superficial stuff.
Bullshit.
Right? Bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like that stuff. And I think, it's like, how do you just not get sucked into that? So I would say I'm still doing the work. I'm a work in progress.
We all are. And I think the difference, each day is every day that you feel like a 6.5, or days where you're a 5 or 4 or something lower. That's where our community comes in. And I think that's where we start to add in, right? So you can take a couple of points of, my love, and from your community and from your customers, and sort of be like, okay, so I can prop myself up to a 7 here.
Yes.
Because it's not just me, and I'm not all alone. So I think that is, in a nutshell, what we're trying to do here with All Women Lead, and with this idea of bringing all humans women and everyone together
Totally.
in circle, in community, in order to create that, because sometimes we need to borrow a little bit of love and inspiration and hope from each other, um
Totally.
because some days are hard.
Right.
So um I want to say thank you for the inspiration that you've given me and so many other people. I want to thank you for being kind of honest and vulnerable about how much work this is and how much work you put into it that we don't see, the grind every morning that you choose to
Mhm.
do. So keep grinding, my friend. It's working. And I can't wait to hear what you're going to share with our entire community on June the 20th. So get your tickets for June 20th. You're going to hear from Jen. You're going to hear from other brilliant women. We're going to get to have more conversations. Maybe we'll laugh. Maybe we'll cry. Who the hell knows? Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Leah. I appreciate it very much.